Hello students, welcome to English class. Today we will discuss the topic noun phrase and verb phrase. And I think last week you watched the class and I think there may be some more clarification that you need. So we will discuss it once more. Noun phrase and verb phrase. How to find out the noun phrase and verb phrase of a sentence. See, if you refer to the grammar books and all, you may see two terms there. Any sentence can be basically divided into two areas like subject and predicate. That's what you see in the old grammar book, the terms subject and predicate. But now, the modern usage, instead of subject, noun phrase is used, and instead of predicate, verb phrase is used. So, a noun phrase or the subject gives an answer to the question who or what. And what we tell about the subject, what all the things except the subject are coming under predicate or verb phrase. That is, any sentence can be divided into a noun phrase and a verb phrase. For example, if you consider the first sentence given here, the little child was crying for milk. How can you find out the subject or the noun phrase on predicate or the verb phrase? I told you that if it is subject and if it is about human, most probably it will be answer to who. The little child was crying for milk. Who was crying for milk? We get the answer, the little child. That means the little child is the subject or the noun phrase here, and the rest of the sentence, was crying for milk, is the predicate or verb phrase. Next sentence, Mikhali had no money in his pocket to buy milk. Who had no money? Mikhali. So Mikhali is the subject, rest of the sentence, predicate. The poor boy approached the women around. Who approached the women? The poor boy. So that's the subject. All the women in the camp who saw the child go into cries of horror. Who? All the women in the camp who saw the child. Up to that is the subject. And the rest, predicate. A kind Chinese woman finally gave it milk. Who gave the child milk? A kind Chinese woman. Okay. So, any sentence can be divided into a subject and predicate. Subject, now we use noun phrase, and predicate we use verb phrase. And the next part you can see the details. How can we, or what are the words included in a noun phrase, and which are the words can be coming under verb phrase. It is given. So the first sentence is given, the little child was crying for milk, and as we mentioned, the little child is the noun phrase, was crying for milk is the verb phrase. And if you analyze the sentence, which are the words included, used in this noun phrase? So the first word used is the. The is a determiner. It's a determiner, and I think in the next part it is mentioned which are the determiners we use. Little is an adjective. Child is the head noun here. So a determiner plus an adjective plus a noun forms the noun phrase in this context. The little child. Three words are there. An article is a determiner. Little is an adjective. Child is a noun. All the three words together form the noun phrase here. And while we consider the verb phrase, was crying for milk, if you analyze the words, you can see that was is an auxiliary verb, it's a helping verb. Crying is the main verb. For milk. For is a preposition, milk is a noun. So a preposition plus a noun is called a prepositional phrase. You should keep in mind. For is a preposition, milk is a noun. So a preposition plus a noun is called a prepositional phrase. And the details are given there in the next part. So which are the words coming under determiners? Mainly 3 sections of words are coming and as determiners. Which are the words? All the articles A and the. 3 articles are there. All these articles are determiners. Possessive pronouns. The possessive pronouns are given here. I think you are familiar with these words. My, our, your, his, her, their, its. And in the case of single nouns, Gandhiji's name, apostrophe, s, etc. And demonstratives. 4 demonstrative pronouns are there. This, that, these, and those. So 3 category of words. All the articles, all the possessives, and all the demonstrative pronouns are called determiners. Okay, so in the first sentence we saw that a determiner is used, and that determiner was an article. Okay, this is a general term. Determiner is a general term for all these words. An article is a determiner, possessive pronoun is a determiner, demonstrative pronoun is also a determiner. And then the last sentence in the example that we mentioned are all the women in the camp who saw the child. All the women in the camp who saw the child. So we know that's a lengthy noun phrase. A number of words are there, and here it is mentioned which are the words used here to form this noun phrase. First word is all, and we learned that the is a determiner, and this all is coming before this determiner. Before, so that is called a predeterminer. So what's a predeterminer? Predeterminer is a word that is used before a determiner, and the next part it is mentioned which are the predeterminers. So all is a predeterminer, the is a determiner because it's an article, women is the noun here, in the camp, in preposition, the camp is a noun, so preposition plus a noun, a prepositional phrase. Who saw the child? It's a relative clause. So in the case of this noun phrase, predeterminer plus determiner plus noun plus prepositional phrase plus relative clause are used. So predeterminers or pre-articles are those items which come before the determiner in a noun phrase, like half, half of, all of, some of, etc. They are called predeterminers. What's the specialty of predeterminers? Those words can be used before a determiner. Pre means before. Predeterminer, word that comes before a determiner. So the structure of the noun phrase of a sentence can be as follows. Once more it is given. Predeterminer, determiner, adjective, noun, prepositional phrase, relative clause. So you have been asked to complete the table. So the first word is women. What is women? Women is a noun. Only single word is there. It's a noun, you know. The women. You learn that the is an article, and an article is coming under determiner. So determiner plus noun. All the women. So this all is used before this determiner. So it is predeterminer plus determiner plus noun. All the women in the camp. Predeterminer plus determiner plus noun plus prepositional phrase. All the women in the camp who saw the child. So here also all. Predeterminer, the, determiner, women, noun, in the camp, prepositional phrase, Who saw the child? Relative clause. So this is the way a single noun is developed into a noun phrase. These are the words used to develop a noun. Which are the words? Maybe predeterminer, determiner, adjective, prepositional phrase, and relative clauses. Okay, so while you see a sentence, you should be able to recognize the noun phrase. I told you it will be answer to, if it is about humans, it will be answer to who, and if it is non-living, it will be answer to what. Then the conclusion is given. A sentence has two parts, which are the subject and predicate, or noun phrase and verb phrase. The subject part is usually a noun phrase. The noun phrase may consist of, as we have seen, predeterminer, determiner, adjective, positive phrase, relative clause. The predicate is usually what all words are included there. Verb, prepositional phrase, and sometimes adverbial, etc. So what you have to do is go through the text and find and take a paragraph and try to find out the noun phrase and the verb phrase. So here the first sentence, some of the sentences are given here. The duckling left the pool. Which is the noun phrase there? The duckling. Verb phrase, left the pool. The duckling left the pool in the morning. So verb phrase, left the pool in the morning. Okay, likewise you can find it out. So here it is to analyze, it is to find out how to analyze a verb phrase. So in the previous part we have seen how to analyze a noun phrase, and here it is to show that show you how to develop a verb phrase. So here the verb phrase is given here, left the pool in the morning. So if you analyze it, you can see that the word left is the verb here, it's a verb phrase here, and the pool is a noun phrase here. So this altogether we call left the pool in the morning, altogether is the verb phrase. And if you analyze it, left is a verb, the pool is a noun phrase, in the morning is a prepositional phrase. And here you can see that even though it's a prepositional phrase, it has the function of an adverb. That means this prepositional phrase gives an answer to when, in the morning. So this prepositional phrase is an adverbial here. Or no doubt it's a prepositional phrase. But in this context, that prepositional phrase is an adverbial. That means if it is an adverb, it will be giving answer to when, where, how, etc. Got it? So this is the way this verb phrase is analyzed here. Even in this verb phrase, there is a noun phrase. And in the case of this prepositional phrase, it is an adverbial here. Then, so in the case, so this is the structure given. Sometimes a single verb can be used. Then verb phrase plus noun phrase. Verb phrase plus prepositional phrase. You have to write down examples here. Verb phrase plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. Verb phrase plus noun phrase. Verb phrase plus noun phrase plus prepositional phrase. So sometimes see for the exams also it will be asked. That means the structure will be given and you will have to write sentences in the above pattern. Okay, so any sentence can be divided into a noun phrase and a verb phrase generally, and then you have to find out how can we form a noun phrase, or which are the words used to form a noun phrase. But then you have to keep in mind those terms: predeterminer, determiner, adjective, prepositional phrase, relative clause, etc. And even in the case of a verb phrase, in that verb phrase sometimes there will be noun phrases, prepositional phrases, etc. Okay, so go through all the sentences given here and also the class that I had sent you last week, and make sure that you have no doubts. I repeat it because this is an activity that you have to learn next year also, and it is quite often asked for the exam. It's not difficult. Don't be confused while you see it first. Just remember the things which I told you, and then write some examples in which all these elements are included. Then it will be easy for you. And then if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me and clarify your doubts. Hope that all of you will do it. So we'll stop for today. Thank you.